The Battlefield 1 spring patch is nearly here. I've got all the details, all the inclusions, tweaks, changes, and bug fixes right here in this video. I'm going to cover as many of the notes as I can, so all different types of players are aware of what is happening. EA gave me early access to the patch notes, so thank you to them, but they came with the caveat that there could be some last-minute changes. As the patch isn't live yet, and there's always things changing in the background, but with 99% certainty I can tell you right now, these are the notes for the spring patch. I'm going to start with what I think is the highlight here. Password-protected servers are finally arriving for Battlefield 1. This is a big deal for lots of different types of players, but mainly this is going to please clans and teams who like to practice in their own private servers. In Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, these clans could rent a server, set up a password, use the server as they please, and have no fear that their play sessions would be interrupted. Now, Battlefield 1 didn't have this feature implemented when rental servers were added after the launch. These new password-protected servers will be unranked, so that's to say you won't gain any XP or any progression whilst you're in them, but that's not really an issue anyway. The fact that passwords and unranked servers are now in Battlefield 1 means that organised events like tournaments can be held. This is a big boost for the Battlefield competitive scene, as the game can now facilitate competitions the community might want to hold. This is also good news for creative members of the community. People who like to record machinimas, take screenshots. You can now rent a server and password protect it so you won't get interrupted. VIP lists will also be coming as part of the spring patch, along with the option on rented servers to decrease the player number needed to start a round. DICE has now reduced this to 6 from 20, you just have to turn that on if you want it, and they have said they're working towards setting it to 0 in the future. Apparently it's a bigger job than meets the eye to have one person start servers. This is a big step forward for the community surrounding Battlefield 1 because that larger community is made up of smaller communities, and now they have the options to set up password protected servers and have their own private experience if they want it. And next thing on the list kind of links into that community feeling. Platoons are coming in the spring patch. This is again another feature that a lot of people have been asking for, and it's now back in Battlefield 1, and it's been tested out recently on the CTE. I can say it's shaping up to be a good implementation. You can create your own 100-member platoons in Battlefield 1 now, and it will remain active across Battlefield 1, Battlefield 1 CTE if you've got access to it, and Battlefield 4 as well. Seems like the new platoons feature is taking over from the older platoons in Battlelog. You'll be able to assign different member ranks, starting at private and progressing to lieutenant, colonel, and general. If you started the platoon, you'll be the general, and then it's up to you and the colonel, whoever you assign that to promote or demote within the ranks. Lieutenants can control who gets access to the platoon if you set it to be apply to enter. You can also make them private if you'd like to keep it exclusive to perhaps a clan or a team that you're a part of, but you'll also be able to link rented servers to the platoon. Once the server is linked, you'll be able to see all of the members of the platoon and if they're playing in that server. And you'll also be able to join on all of the members into different servers as well. So it's kind of like the party system, but it's for everybody within the platoon, and that means you could always join on someone you know, and then that person's in the server with you, and you might want to squad up with them. The final piece of the platoon puzzle, if you play as a platoon within multiplayer, there's a few new features that will pop up as well. If the squad you're in, all 5 members are of the same platoon, i.e. if you're in Westy Company, that's my platoon, and we all fill up one squad, that squad will be renamed to the name of the platoon. That's pretty neat. And if your platoon contributes to the majority of a flag capture within multiplayer, a small pennant emblazoned with the platoon's avatar will be pinned to the flagpole. So now in-game you can show off if you're doing all the capture work. You can be a member of up to 10 platoons at any one time, but you can only represent one per game, so you'll need to go in and out of the platoons menu if you want to represent a different one in different matches that you play, and you can only be the general, i.e. the leader, of one platoon. So if you want to become a general of another platoon, or someone's going to let you do that, you first need to give your general position up in the other platoon if you control it. You don't have to be a general at all, you don't have to have your own platoon, but you can only be general of one of them. Moving on to some more general additions now. Many of these are to make people aware of gameplay changes that have been made with this patch. First on the list, various UI fixes have been implemented into this new patch to hopefully help the in-game menus run smoother and cause less frustration. Currently, especially on consoles, some of the menus can take a long time to respond. Hopefully, this removes some of the friction. The Frontlines timer has now been fixed. I really wish they hadn't fixed it because I enjoyed the really long game modes, or maybe they could have implemented it as an option onto custom servers, but DICE has now added it back in. Frontlines matches will now be restricted to 40 minutes, which I think is still a good amount of time. DICE have said the reason they had to implement this is due to the way they capture data and telemetry of multiplayer. A too long a match can actually cause data loss on their end, and they won't be able to look at telemetry to see what needs balancing in the future. Some changes to the netcode have been made in this patch. One very interesting tweak that I think is worth highlighting: DICE are now allowing a situation to occur that had previously been coded out of the game due to what they thought was a bad experience for the player. It's called kill trading. That's right, DICE have added it back into the game. Once this patch is deployed, if you get killed and you have bullets flying through the air, that's to say you fired them from your gun, but they haven't hit their target yet, they won't get deleted anymore. Previous to this patch, DICE had coded this out of the game to stop kill trading occurring because most people didn't really feel it was a good gameplay mechanic. This now allows the damage of your bullets to apply even after you died. So it's a little bit like if you throw a grenade and you still get a kill after you've died, you can see somebody get killed in your kill cam, or the kill notification comes up, you're dead, but you can still get the kill. That's essentially now been applied to the bullets that you fire from your gun. This is something, apparently, the community asked for, and it's been live in the CTE for a few weeks now. I play the CTE quite regularly, and I honestly haven't noticed that much of a difference overall. There are some kill trades in there that I wish didn't happen, but it doesn't happen very often anyway, so really, it's unlikely to affect you all that much. Planes have now been rebalanced, so they deal less damage to infantry on the ground, and the planes themselves will take more damage from infantry weapons like bolt-action rifles, AA cannons, and other things. DICE has seen in their own data that it's far too easy for pilots to go on ridiculous kill streaks at the expense of infantry on the ground who didn't really have sufficient firepower to tackle them. If you want some more information on the exact things that DICE are changing in regards to the planes, I'll link a video that I made last week down in the description that explains all of the changes in more detail and even gives you proper values. Another topic that I've touched on in previous videos, medic spotting. This is a brand new feature coming to Battlefield 1 that now allows medics to spot the dead bodies of their friendly players on the ground, and that indicates to the dead player that a medic is trying to get to them and revive them. There'll be a new separate menu within the kill cam to show you incoming medics and nearby medics. The incoming ones have actually spotted your dead body. This has been implemented to try and stop players simply using the skip revive button and jumping out of the battle back into the loadout screen. I don't understand why they don't just get rid of the skip revive button. I mean, for me, that would solve the whole problem, but maybe there's more variables in there that I'm not thinking of. However, now this system means that somebody is more likely to stay as a dead player to maybe get revived instead of them just going straight back to that loadout screen. In terms of grenade spam, I'll cover this really quickly because it's a massively divided topic within the community. DICE have made a few changes to how they resupply in this patch. They are no longer going to magically refill into your inventory. There are longer timers active in the background that restrict how quickly you can get your grenade back, but you have to find an ammo crate in order to get your grenade back into your inventory. No more magic grenades. Thanks for listening to the community, DICE. Moving on from those general fixes to new content, which is what I think is most important in every single patch that comes out. We've got new ribbons, new dog tags, and 4 new weapon variants. 19 new ribbons are being added to Battlefield 1, with all of them focusing on team play aspects. Things like heals, revives, spots, resupplies, etc. These will all track just as the other ribbons do now, and they will be totaled up with your score at the end of each round. There's still no update to the medal system. I think that thing needs some serious reworking. 5 new dog tags will be available to you with this update. We've got Battlefest 2017, Sakura and Murata, Regimental Stein, Play to Give, which is a charity dog tag, and Answers HQ. It's not 100% clear at this stage how these dog tags will be handed out, whether they're assignment based or whether they'll be unlocked straight away for everyone to use. I think some of the names suggest what they're going to be for, but we'll have to wait for further details on how we can get our hands on them. And lastly, those 4 new weapon variants for the level 10 weapons in each class. We have the Hellriegel 1915 Defensive, the Selbstlader 1906 Sniper, the Hewitt Automatic Optical, and the Martini Henry Sniper. Each of these will be a grind for you to unlock. All of them have their own individual unlock requirements, and it's going to take you a little while for you to get your hands on them. It's definitely something for the dedicated players out there, but for me, anything that increases the longevity of Battlefield 1, that gives me something to do beyond just simply playing the game, it gives me something to aim for, that's something that's good in my book. DICE needs to be doing more of this in every single patch moving forwards. This whole update for Battlefield 1 is centered around improving team play and helping players support each other. It's always difficult to assist players doing this because of the high number of players in servers in Battlefield 1, and likely many of them not really knowing each other. But seeing new additions like private, passworded servers and platoons, it's clear DICE are trying their best to improve the team play. And this patch is the first of the monthly updates coming to Battlefield 1. Your next patch will come at the end of May. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the spring patch for Battlefield 1. Let me know what you think of all these changes down below in the comments section. What do you like? What don't you like? And I'll be there reading as many as I can. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.